Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. Dramatised for radio by Hattie Naylor. Episode 1.
Alice, lovely. Alice.
I'm so bored.
Dear.
This is so dull.
But there are trees and flowers and birds and animals and the most beautiful things.
And grass. Lots and lots of very boring grass.
Stop picking at it, dear, do.
I've never been so bored in all my days. This is, I think, the most boring day I have ever endured.
Why don't you read this book with me?
What's it about?
Geography.
Geography?
Yes, compasses and things. Longitude, latitude, and how to use a map.
Is that interesting?
Oh, very. The author's been round the world. He's seen black pigs in the Solomon Isles, griffins off the coast of India, and turtles the size of dining room tables. But in this book, he just tells you how you read a map. He's a great explorer. There'll be no grass left.
Nonsense. There's lots and lots of grass left. There'll be lots and lots of grass left.
Well, just leave some for the rabbits.
What rabbits?
Why, dear, there's one just there.
Where?
Over there. A white one.
Where?
Oh, just there, running behind that bush. Here, Alice. You can rest against me if you like.
The one with the waistcoat on?
Pardon, Alice? Oh, what did you say?
The one with the waistcoat?
Are you comfortable, dear? Alice? Alice?
The one with the waistcoat. And watch!
I'm so late. I'm so late.
Mr. Rabbit! Excuse me! Mr. Rabbit, sir!
Late and getting later.
Oh, wait! Wait! Mr. Rabbit, sir! If you please!
Miss my whiskers, curse my paws. Here it is at last.
Mr. Rabbit! Mr. Rabbit!
I'm so late. I'm so late.
I'll never catch up. Oh, I'll never catch up. Where did he go? Where did he go to? Mr. Rabbit! Mr. Rabbit! Oh, he must have gone down. Oh, no! Oh, no! This is the strangest feeling. I seem to be falling for miles and miles. Perhaps I'm falling through the centre of the earth. So what longitude would this be? Or latitude? And would my sister know? It's odd that I'm not afraid. I shall never be afraid of jumping from very high buildings again. How brave they will all think me at home. I shall be able to jump and fall even greater heights than my dear cat. My dear Dinah. Or maybe I'm falling slowly enough to read a book. So many books, and shelves and cupboards. I wonder, do wells always have books and cakes and cards and teacups and things? You'd expect them to be quite empty. But this place is full of falling things. And what curious cupboards. Marmalade. marmalade. And lots of other jars inside.
You give me my marmalade back now.
I saw that. You give it her back now.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Here, I have it back. I didn't realise that cupboards...
Cupboards, what?
Did you see that? She opened me up and just helped herself.
I did see it.
I'm terribly sorry. Really, I am. I didn't mean to...
I could do with a lot.
So could I. So could we all. Did you see that?
Did you see what she did?
I did.
Did you see it?
She just puts her hand in and helps herself.
I know.
How odd all this is. And how rude those grumbling cupboards were. I shall think again before I open another cupboard. I didn't realise they were like that. Oh, it feels like I've been falling forever. I wonder if there are any bats in here. My dear Dinah will miss me terribly tonight. I wish she was with me now. There are no mice in the air, but perhaps there are a few bats, and that's like a mouse, you know. But do cats eat bats, I wonder? And sometimes do bats eat cats? Do cats eat bats? Or do bats eat cats? Or do cats eat bats? Do bats eat cats?
I'm so late.
Oh!
Oh, my poor blessed whiskers and hogwash.
Stop, please!
Late again,
Please stop.
and never a decent place to mend a watch.
I'll never reach him! Oh! Oh! What a strange room. It reminds me of... well, nowhere I have ever been before, actually. Ah! That must be the rabbit. But which door was it? There are so many, hundreds and hundreds of endless doors. I've never seen a room so long. Oh! Let me see. This one. This one. Yes, this is the one. Oh, it's locked. It's locked. Or someone's on the other side. Of all of them. Or they're all locked. What I need is a key. Open for me, just one of you, please. Please? Please? Really, Alice? Talking to cupboards one moment and doors the next. And I've lost the white rabbit quite completely. A key! Now, why didn't I see that before? Or hear it? I feel sure it will open one of these doors. Oh, no. Oh, but it's too small. It's such a tiny key. There. It would fit that one. Oh, it is little. I wonder if the key... Oh. Oh.
Late. Bless my cataracts. Late. My poor whiskers. I can't tell you how sorry I am.
Mr. Rabbit! Please wait! Please wait, sir! Mr. Rabbit, sir! If I can just get my shoulders... Ow! Just through the door, then we'd be in. Oh, Mr. Rabbit! Mr. Rabbit! You see the door's so small. Oh, it's such a beautiful garden. Such a beautiful one. Oh, I wish I was smaller. Much smaller. Oh, this is awful to be so big. I don't think I shall ever get out of this room. Oh.
Down here, Alice. Look. Look. Drink me. Drink me. Drink me.
Oh, goodness me. Whatever are you?
Have a tasty, Alice. Up here. Up here. Drink me. Drink me. Tasty. Tasty. On the table. Tasty. Tasty.
A talking drink?
Taste me. Taste me. I'll be nice.
Oh, stop moving about. I'll never be able to drink you if I can't pick you up.
Pick me up. Pick me up.
I don't know if I should.
Tasty. Tasty.
Let me see. I've never heard a bottle speak before. There. It's silent now. A good shake often works with noise. At least that's what my sister always says. Now, let's see. There are some rules for children here. Don't take sweets from strangers. Oh, don't lose your temper. Don't place your hand in a fire. It will certainly burn you. And don't drink from bottles marked poison. Sooner or later, it's bound to disagree with you. My sister says that you shouldn't drink from an unmarked bottle at all. But then my sister would. It comes from reading books without pictures. Well, a sip can't do any harm. I'll just take a little sip.
Tasty! Tasty! Yes, yes, yes!
Shush! I won't drink you if you're going to speak. Buttered toast, marmalade, roast chestnuts, and yes, strawberries and honey, and oh, such lovely things. Oh, I feel quite strange. Quite different and tingly and quite as if things were getting a bit bigger, really. As if things were getting much bigger. I'm closing up. Oh no! Everything's grown. Everything's grown so. The ceiling looks like the sky. No. Oh, no. It's... I'm smaller. Much. So I can enter the garden. Yes, yes. Open. The key. Where's the key? The key! The little golden key! Where did I put it? Oh! It's on the table. And I can't possibly reach it now. I'm so small. Oh, what's the use of being this size? Whatever use is this? I shall never get into the garden. And I shall never see the rabbit again. Pardon? Who? Moving talking bottles and now moving talking boxes. I think I'll just take a peek. A peek at what's inside. A quick peek can't do any harm.
Eat me! No, eat me!
No,
eat me!
She'll be eating me first.
No, she won't. She'll be eating me first. Children always eat chocolate cake first.
Me.
She'll never eat you.
Why won't she eat me?
Because you're green.
No one eats green cake.
They do, sir.
I don't know why you're arguing. She's bound to eat me first. Fresh cream, you see, and strawberries.
What about a tea cake?
She's not going to want a tea cake.
Oh, but how lovely I am. All melted butter and currants.
I won't eat any of you if you carry on arguing.
What did she say?
She said she won't eat any of us if we carry on arguing.
Oh.
Oh.
Now, where's the green one gone? I like green cakes. Ah. Will you make me taller? Will you?
Yes, me. Green first.
Oh. How delicious you are.
Thank you.
Yes, what I'd like now is a tea cake.
And what a wonderful epic one.
That was delicious. Oh, I've never tasted such wonderful cakes in all my life. And such wonderful personalities. Ah. Oh, here it goes. Oh, yes. Everything's getting much smaller. Back to a reasonable size. Oh, it is good to be one's normal size once more. Yes, this is a nice height. This is how things should be. This is how things ought to stay. No, stop growing. Stop it. Ow! Oh, stop. Ow! Oh, I think I ate too many cakes. Oh, I can barely see my feet. Oh,
The Duchess. Won't she be savage that I've kept her waiting? Savage. As savage as the day's round.
Mr. Rabbit!
Oh,
If you please, sir.
a giant! Help me!
Mr. Rabbit! Mr. Rabbit! You've dropped your fan and gloves. Mr. Rabbit, don't go!
Help me! A giant! A giant!
Oh, whatever am I to do? I'll never get into the garden now. I'll never go anywhere now. I'll be stuck here with a ceiling for a pillow for the rest of my days. And nothing to comfort me but a fan and a pair of white gloves. I'm so big. Now, Alice, don't cry. Don't cry. No, don't. Oh, stop it. Stop it at once. You just wouldn't expect a person over 9 feet to cry like a baby. 9 feet.
I've never seen so much water in all my life. One moment it's dry and the next wet. Look, my feathers are drenched.
And my fur's all matted. Look at my whiskers.
You'll have to swim. It's too deep to stand.
The mice can't swim. My mother never swam. My father never swam. Why should I swim?
Because you'll drown if you don't.
I'm swimming!
You should never have cried.
I wasn't crying!
You most certainly were. You did this.
I did!
Oh, your gigantic tears.
We're so small, you see.
Look what you've done to our Pebbles. Ruined! Ruined!
Did I shrink? I must have shrunk. I was at least 9 feet tall a moment ago.
Oh, we know.
I don't think I can go much further.
Over there! Over there! Try land!
I'm all matted. Look at my paws. Cold, cold, cold.
What we need is something to warm us up.
Yeah, something quickly.
Cold, 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 cold. Sit down, all of you. I'll make you dry enough. This is the driest thing I know. Silence all right, please. William the Conqueror, whose cause was favoured by the Pope, was soon submitted to by the English, who wanted leaders and had been late accustomed to usurpation and conquest. Edwin and Morcar, the Earls of Mercia and Northumberland... Did you speak?
Not I.
I thought you did. I proceed. Edwin and Morcar, the Earls of Mercia and Northumberland, declared him and even Stigand, the patriotic Archbishop of Canterbury, found it advisable to go with Edgar Atheling to meet William and offer him the crown. William's conduct at first was moderate, but the insolence of the Normans was...
How are you getting on, my dear?
But the insolence of the Normans...
As cold as ever. It doesn't seem to dry me at all.
But the insolence of the Normans...
In that case... I move that the meeting adjourn for the immediate adoption of more energetic remedies.
Speak English. Well, I don't know what half those words mean.
What I was going to say was... the best thing to get us dry would be a caucus-race.
Oh, no, not a caucus-race.
Oh. What's a caucus race?
Let me tell you.
No, let me explain.
No, let me explain.
No, let me. I'm the dodo.
Oh, the dodo will explain.
You draw a shape.
What kind of a shape?
Why, any kind of shape, of course.
Like this?
Yes, like that.
Or like this?
Or like that as well.
So, like this then?
Yes, they'll all do. All right. Shape draw. Right now. Go!
Run?
Yes, run.
Now?
If you like.
Ready, steady, go!
Or now?
Really, whenever you want to.
Ready,
Like
steady,
now.
go!
Right. But the others, some of the others have already started.
And so they should.
Well, when should I have started
Well,
then?
you start whenever you want to. It's a caucus race.
Finished! What?
No, you haven't.
I have! I finished!
Finished? How can they have finished?
You've only just started. You haven't. You have.
Can I finish now?
You can finish whenever you like.
Finish.
Finish.
Who won?
Yes. Who won, Dodo?
We want a prize!
Yes, where are the prizes?
What prizes?
The winner must have a prize.
But who's the winner?
Why, you're all winners.
So we must all have prizes.
Oh.
Ask the girl.
Yes, ask the girl.
She can give us prizes. Who, me?
Yes, you. What have you got in your pockets?
In my pocket?
Yes. What have you got in your pockets?
Well, nothing very much. A box of comfits.
Well, that will do. Comfits for all.
Yes, here you are.
Oh, lovely, thank you very much indeed.
But she must have a prize too.
Yeah.
Yes,
What else have you in your pockets?
I have a thimble and a bit of cotton.
A thimble?
Yes.
If you would hand it to me, we beg your acceptance of this elegant thimble.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Thank you all.
You're very silent all of a sudden. Didn't you like your prize?
I was just thinking.
Really? Thinking, you say? About what?
I was thinking about my cat. I miss her. She's such a dear.
She was thinking about what?
She was thinking about a cat.
Who said that?
How can you do a thing like that? We're birds. And mice.
And ducks and things. Have you no feelings for others?
Oh, really? I only said.
You only said?
I only thought about my cat, Dinah.
You've upset everyone.
Everyone.
Well, I'll be on my way then.
Oh, yes, they can go. They can go.
Goodness me. I've never met such silly collection of animals in all my life. I don't suppose I should have mentioned Dinah. I do miss her so much. And she is so clever with birds. She as quick as looks at them as they're in her mouth. Still, yes, I should think they wouldn't admire a cat for that. But she does like birds, at least.
The Duchess, oh, my poor fur and whiskers. Should they be executed as sure as ferret of ferret? Where can I have dropped them? Marianne! What are you doing here? Go and fetch my white gloves and fans straight away. I think I must have left them in my house. Marianne?
Who, me?
Why, of course I mean you. Who else would I mean?
Oh, but I'm not...
My gloves!
I'm not Marianne.
Who are you then?
Well, in truth, I don't quite know who I am.
You're Mary Ann.
Yes.
Mary Ann, go and fetch my gloves and fan immediately.
Yes. Where? I thought I saw them here.
From my house, of course.
Which way is that?
You know full well that it is that way.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Run!
Yes, I'll go there immediately.
Oh, bless the seams of my waistcoat. It will be the end of me. And that will be that.
This must be it. Now, where could he have left them? In a drawer? Or on a shelf? Why, they could be anywhere. That's if they're in the house at all.
Drink me.
Oh, there they are, right in the middle of the room.
Drink me. Drink me.
Ah! Another talking bottle. I've met quite a number of your sort.
Drink me.
Maybe I will, because I'm quite sure that something interesting will happen if I do, and...
Drink me.
And you see, I am quite tired of being such a tiny little thing.
Please.
Oh. Oh, now. Oh, that's enough. That's high enough. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't need to be any taller, thank you. Thank you. Oh, I wish I hadn't drunk so much and all in such a rush. Ow! However will I get seem to be able to fit it in. If I could just... There, that's better. Oh, it was much pleasanter at home with Dinah when one was a consistent size and wasn't growing larger and then smaller and being ordered about by animals. Oh.
No, I sent Mary Ann to look for my gloves.
So you lost them?
No, I said I thought I had them. Bill! Where are you, Bill? That lizard never does any work. Bill!
Here I am, Your Honour.
Where have you been?
Digging apples, Your Worship.
Digging apples, indeed. Have you seen Mary Ann?
No, Your Honour, I didn't see her, but then I've been round the back of the house digging apples.
Well, she must be inside the house. I'll go in and have a look myself. What was that?
What's what?
Ow.
That groaning.
What groaning?
It seems to be coming from my house.
White Rabbit, Your Honour, sir.
Yes. What is it now, Bill?
Your Honour, sir.
What is it?
Sir, it's a large arm.
A large arm?
A large arm descending, sir.
A large arm?
It's from your window.
Well, it has no business being there. Remove it at once.
It's rather on the large size, Your Honour.
Go and take that arm away at once.
What will I take it away with?
Try scissors.
Right, Your
Can you see what the arm's attached to?
It looks like a very big girl.
I couldn't get in, so I couldn't get the scissors. It's filling out the whole house.
It's a girl.
Yes, I think so.
It's a very big girl.
Well, she's got to leave my house. I cannot live there with a big girl in it. Did you try to get in?
Yes, but she wouldn't let me. She's resting against the door.
She's not letting you into your own house.
We've got to get her out.
We could throw something at us.
Like what?
Pebbles. We could throw pebbles.
Pebbles?
Pebbles. Get some pebbles. Leave my house.
You've got no right to be so big.
That's right. That's how right at all.
Take those.
And this. She doesn't seem to be moving.
We could burn her out.
Burn her out?
That would certainly do the trick.
Burn her?
Burn me?
Where are your logs?
Just there, next to the front door. Come then, Bill, pile them up.
Yes, sir, whatever you say, sir.
Yes, that should do it. Pile it up. Yes. More wood. There, that's it. More sticks here, please. And here. Oh, yes, this will get rid of her.
Oh, no. No. I should never have drunk so much.
A nice big fire for a big girl.
When in doubt, burn it.
No, whatever am I to do?
And some more sticks here. Yes, that's it. And there.
Oh, the pebbles. They're turning into cakes. I've never been so pleased to be 3 inches high. Now, where's the back door?
Can you see her now?
No, I think she's gone.
Oh, can you see her?
No.
Well, put the fire out then.
It's a bit big now.
It's burning my house.
I thought that's what you wanted.
Put it out. But get some water. Get some water.
You'll never put it out now.
But don't just stand there. Get a bucket.
It's no need to speak to me like that.
My house! My house! My house is burning down!
What a lot of smoke. Still, they should never have set fire to it. How silly these creatures are, setting fire to their own homes. Which way was the garden? This way or that? It's difficult to see any distance at all, being so tiny. More smoke? But I thought the rabbit's house was back there. No. It's not a fire. It's a smoking mushroom. No. It's a pipe. And a smoking caterpillar.
Who are you?
Pardon? I beg your pardon?
Who are you?
Who, me?
Indeed. Who are you?
Well, I hardly know myself just at the present. At least, I knew who I was when I awoke this morning, but I think I must have changed several times since then.
Changed?
Yes, changed.
What do you mean by that? Explain yourself.
I can't explain myself because I am not myself, do you see?
No. I don't see.
I'm afraid I really can't make it any clearer, for I can't very well understand it myself. And being so many sizes in one day is so very confusing.
It isn't.
One day you'll turn into a chrysalis and then a butterfly, and I should think you'll find that a little confusing.
Not a bit.
Well, it would be very confusing for me.
You? Who are you?
Perhaps you could tell me who you are first.
Why? Where are you going? Come back. I've an important thing to say to you.
What?
Keep your temper.
Is that all?
So, you think you've changed?
Yes. I don't seem to be able to stay the same size.
What size would you like to be?
What size?
Yes, you. What size would you like to be?
Just one, really. I mean, I don't like changing so much.
Change is inevitable.
But in height so many times in one day?
Are you content now?
I'd like to be a little larger. 3 inches, you see, is such a wretched height.
I am 3 inches.
Yes, but I'm not used to being 3 inches tall. I wish these animals weren't so easily offended.
You'll get used to it in time. Excuse me.
Where are you going?
My mushroom's crumpled. I need a flatter surface to sit on, or I'll never be comfortable.
Where's it crumpled? Don't go. Won't you help me?
Help you? But who are you?
Please, can't you help me a little?
One side will make you smaller, the other taller.
What will? What will make me taller?
One side will make you smaller, the other taller.
One side of what? One side of what? The mushroom? Do you mean the crumpled mushroom?
Taller, smaller. Taller, smaller. Taller, smaller.
One side of what? Oh, how rude these creatures are. The mushroom's the only edible thing nearby, so he must mean that. Now, there are some more rules here for children. They're poisonous, aren't they, mushrooms? Aren't they? No, that's toadstools. And I believe that it is only some toadstools that are poisonous. Yes, I believe so. It's just that I'm so very young to die. And who will look after my Dinah? My dear Dinah. But to be taller again, then maybe I could find the garden. Well, just a little can't kill me. What's this? What have I landed on? It feels like a shoe. It's my shoes. My head's landed on my shoe. I've folded up. Where is the rest of my body? Quick, the mushroom. I can't see anything. All I can see are leaves. I'm surrounded by leaves. I'm in a tree. Oh, I don't want to be in a tree. I don't want to be in a tree at all. How did I get here? And where are my shoes and feet now? What's that shaking down there? Oh, it can't be. It can't be. It's my shoulders. What are you doing down there? The mushroom. Where's the mushroom? I must be 9 inches now, or thereabouts. Yes, this would seem a pleasant height. Pleasanter certainly than 13 feet, or 3 inches. Well, that doesn't tell me much. I want to get to the garden, not to the Mad March Hare's house, or the Mad Hatter's house. What curious signposts. I don't want to go amongst mad people, and who would want to visit either? But there's no other path to take. I wonder which is the least mad. I'd imagine a hare to be less mad than a hatter. I'll go that way. And anyway, it isn't March. At least I think it's not March. Oh, but I'm not really sure of anything anymore.
I was only saying, dear fellow, how delicious this tea is. Did you make it yourself? More tea, dear fellow? And which cup would you like it in?
Excuse me?
The spotty pink one. Why, certainly.
Excuse me? May I sit down? I think I'll just sit down anyway.
No room! No room!
Pardon?
No room!
Why, there's plenty of room.
Oh, plenty of room, she says, plenty of room. Would you like some wine?
I don't see any wine.
There isn't any.
Then it wasn't very civil of you to offer some.
It wasn't very civil of you to sit down without being invited.
I didn't know it was your table. It's laid for a great many more than two.
We were only just saying how little room there is.
Your hair needs cutting.
Oh, you should learn not to make personal remarks. It's very rude.
Ooh.
Why is a raven like a writing desk?
Oh, good, a riddle. I'm very good at riddles. Now, let me think. Why is a raven like a writing desk?
Do you mean that you think you can find the answer to it?
Exactly so.
Then you should say what you mean.
I do. At least I mean what I say. And that's the same thing, you know.
It's not the same thing a bit. You might just as well say that I see what I eat is the same as I eat what I see.
You might as well say I like what I get is the same as I get what I like.
You might just as well say that I breathe when I sleep is the same as I sleep when I breathe.
It is the same with you.
Who said that?
Who said what?
Just then I heard a voice.
A voice, you say?
Is there a voice here?
Yes, definitely.
Another uninvited guest. Well, it must leave immediately. Tell it to leave.
Twinkle, twinkle.
There it is again.
There's what?
The voice.
It was the Hatter's voice.
No, it wasn't.
Not my voice?
No.
It was his voice.
No, it wasn't.
Mine. It's always been my voice. Does somebody want my voice? Is somebody trying to steal it? Just tell me who the fellow is.
But it wasn't your voice. It seems to be coming from a teapot.
Oh, a teapot, you say?
Inside a teapot? Why didn't you tell me there were teapots here?
There are hundreds and hundreds of teapots, haven't you noticed?
Well, I invited a few. I didn't expect so many to turn up. Hundreds, you say? Hundreds. Well, who invited them? Did you? Did you invite them?
I think it came from this one.
Now, don't look at me like that. No, now.
You did. You did.
I
know.
this
You're
one.
always scattering invitations everywhere.
This one. There's a mouse in here.
Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder what you're at.
Heard it
Up above the sky so high, like a tea-tray in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder what you're at.
Why is there a dormouse in this teapot?
Because he likes tea.
Really, you are most terribly dull.
All change, no room, no room.
But there's plenty of
All
room.
change, please, all change. There we go. Thank God.
More tea, dear fellow.
I don't mind if I do. What day of the month is it?
The 4th.
Wrong. According to my watch, it's the 2nd. I told you butter wouldn't suit the works.
It was the best butter.
Yes, but some breadcrumbs must have got in as well. You shouldn't have put it in with a bread knife.
But it was the very best butter, you know.
What a funny watch. It tells the day of the month, but it doesn't tell what o'clock it is.
Why should it? Does your watch tell you what year it is?
Of course not. But that's because it stays the same year for such a long time.
Which is just the case with mine.
I don't quite understand you.
Have you guessed the riddle yet?
No. I give up. What's the answer?
I haven't the slightest idea.
Nor I.
I think you might do something better with time than wasting it asking riddles that have no answer.
If you knew time as well as I, you wouldn't talk about wasting it. It's him.
I don't know what you mean.
Of course you don't. I dare say you've never even spoken to time.
Perhaps not. But I know I have to beat time when I learn music.
That accounts for it. He won't stand beating. Now, if you only keep on good terms with him, he'd do almost anything you like with the clock. For instance, suppose it's in the morning, just before lessons. You'd only have to whisper a hint to time, and round goes the clock in a twinkling. 1:30, time for dinner.
I only wish it was.
That would be grand, certainly. Oh, but then I shouldn't be hungry for it, you know.
No, not at first, perhaps. But then you could keep it at 1:30 for as long as you liked.
Is that the way you managed?
Not I. We quarrelled last March. Just before he went mad, you know. The Mad March Hare, that is.
Oh, me? Oh, and you're not mad, I suppose.
I've just been mad for a good deal longer, old fellow.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I was singing at a great concert, you know, given by the Queen, and, well, I'd hardly finished before the Queen of Hearts jumped up and bawled, "He's murdering the time! Off with his head!"
How dreadfully savage!
And ever since then, he won't do a thing I ask. And it's always 6 o'clock.
Is that why there are so many tea things set out?
Yes, that's it. It's always tea time. We've no time to wash the things between whiles.
Then you keep moving round, I suppose.
Exactly so. As the things get used up.
But what happens when you come to the beginning again?
Suppose we change the subject. I'm getting tired of this. Ask the young lady to tell us a story.
Yes. Tell us a story.
Oh, I'm afraid I don't know any.
Then the dormouse shall. Wake up the dormouse! Wake up the dormouse!
I wasn't asleep. I heard every word you fellows were saying.
Tell us a story.
Yes, please do.
And be quick about it, or you'll be asleep before it's done.
Once upon a time, there were 3 little sisters, and their names were Elsie, Lacey, and Tilly, and they lived at the bottom of a well.
What did they live on?
They lived on treacle.
They couldn't have done that, you know. They would have been dreadfully ill.
And they were very ill.
Take some more tea.
I've had nothing yet, so I can't take any more.
You mean you can't take less? It's very easy to take more than nothing.
Nobody asked your opinion.
Who's making personal remarks now?
Why did they live at the bottom of a well?
It was a treacle well.
There's no such thing.
If you can't be civil, you'd better finish the story yourself.
Oh, no, please go on. I won't interrupt again. I dare say there may be one.
One indeed. These 3 sisters were learning to draw, you know.
Well, what did they draw?
Treacle.
I want a clean cup. Let's all move one place on. Move. Everybody, one place on. Everybody. There we are. There.
But I don't understand. Where did they draw the treacle from?
You can draw water out of a water well, so I should think you can draw treacle out of a treacle well. Stupid.
But they were in the well.
Well, of course they were. Well in.
They were learning to draw, and they drew all manner of things. Everything that begins with M.
Why an M?
Why not?
Pinch him. Go on, pinch him. Pinch him.
That begins with M, such as mousetraps and the moon and memory and muchness. You know, you say things are much of a muchness. Did you ever see such a thing as a drawing of muchness?
Really, now you ask me.
Much of a muchness. Muchness of a much of a muchness.
He's asleep again.
Time for a new pot.
It is time the dormouse had a new teapot.
Come on, old fellow.
Twinkle, twinkle.
This one. He'll fit this one.
Are you going to put the poor thing in that?
There you go, little chap.
Push harder.
It's a close fit, certainly.
It always is.
I really don't think...
Then you shouldn't speak.
This is really too much.
Push.
Much too much.
Can't you push harder than that?
Do the best I can.
Oh, goodbye. Well, thank you for my tea.
We'll have to find another one.
Although I don't recall drinking any.
No, we've got him into smaller teapots than this before.
Really, I've never met rude
You can
creatures.
push harder than that.
No, I can't.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't.
Yes, you can.
No,
You
I
push
cannot.
much harder than that in your time. Well, look, take him out of that. Let's find another teapot. This one is full of treacle, and it should be full of dormouse. Now, push and push. You can do it. I've seen.
That was the silliest tea party I was ever at in all my life. They didn't even offer me a cake. Or tea. I wonder where the white rabbit is now. I did so want to find that garden again. A door in a tree. Well, nothing surprises me now. It is certain to lead somewhere interesting. fit this time. I'm just about the right height and width. Now, where's the little door? Here we are!
I wonder where the White Rabbit is now. I did so want to find that garden again. A door in a tree. Well, nothing surprises me now. It is certain to lead somewhere interesting. Oh! Yes, the little key. For the little door. And I'm sure to fit this time. I'm just about the right height and width. Now, where's the little door? Here we are! Oh!
Off with his head! Off with his head! Off with our head! Off with our head!
Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. Dramatised for radio by Hattie Naylor. Episode 2.
Oh, what a charming house. I wonder who lives here. I feel sure they wouldn't mind a visit. Good afternoon. Or good morning. At least I think it's the afternoon.
It certainly is. There'll be no point in knocking.
No?
No, none.
Oh.
Never is.
Why? I'd like to get in.
Well, there's a fine thing we'd all like to get in, wouldn't we?
Yes, but why can't I?
Well, firstly, as you can see, I'm on the same side of the door as you, in case you hadn't noticed, though it's very easy to deduce. And I am the footman.
Yes.
So I open the door.
Yes.
Well, I can't, can I?
And secondly?
Secondly, they couldn't possibly hear you.
Oh. But how can I get in?
Well, I have to be on the inside for that. And as you can well see, I'm on the outside with you. Now, if you were on the inside...
Yes?
Then I could open the door and let you outside.
But I'm not.
No.
Will you be going inside at all?
Oh, yes. Well, eventually I should think so, anyway. I'll stay on the outside for maybe a day or two, maybe more. At least for the rest of the afternoon. So, there's no way of doing it.
But how can I get in?
The question is whether you're to get in at all.
It really is quite dreadful how these creatures argue.
Probably a couple of more days than that, really.
It's enough to drive one quite mad.
I shall sit here on and off for days and days.
But what am I to do?
Anything you like.
Oh, there's no use talking to him. He's perfectly idiotic.
I'm not replying!
Where you been?
Excuse me!
Yes, what is it all about?
Excuse me, but why is your cat grinning?
Because there's a Cheshire cat. Pig! Pig!
Isn't that a baby?
What? What did you say?
Isn't that a baby?
Pig! What was that? What was that? Pass me the baby's nappy.
Look out! Mind what you're doing, please!
If everybody minded their own business, little miss, then the world would go around a good deal faster.
Which would be of no advantage at all. You see, if the world went round faster, it would make such work with day and night. The world turns on its axis, you understand, and that takes 24 hours. So you see...
that pepper!
Now, where's the baby's bottle?
Or maybe it's 12.
Oh, don't bother me with figures. I never could abide them. Figures, geography, and all manner of lessons. Algebra, algebra, algebra. Who needs it when there's work to be done?
I should think you would need it quite a lot if there's work to be done. done.
And the moral to that is...
I don't think it has a moral.
Certainly it does.
Where's its moral?
The soup.
It's not in the soup, the moral to that is a bird in the bush is worth more eggs.
How is that the moral?
It's all adding up, my dear. Did they teach you nothing at school? Really, your dullness is terribly clear. Did you say you'd found the baby's bottle?
No, I couldn't. In all this...
Speak roughly to your little boy and beat him when he sneezes. He only does it to annoy because he knows it teases.
Wow.
I speak severely to my boy. I beat him when he sneezes, for he can thoroughly enjoy the pepper when he pleases.
An invitation, Mum.
For me?
For you, Mum.
An invitation?
Yes, Mum.
For me?
Yes, Mum.
Is it from...
The Queen, Mum.
Oh, I thought so. I expected as much. Oh, yes. The Queen and I.
The Queen of Hearts requests the pleasure of your company for a game of light croquet at 1 o'clock this afternoon.
What time is it now?
1 o'clock, Mum.
Oh, why didn't you tell me? Quick. I must dress for the Queen. I must dress for croquet. Out of my way. This is royalty and I'm already late. Here, you may hold the baby. Here, hold it. I don't want it. I must go and dress for the Queen to play croquet.
Oh, mind what you're doing with that. You'll hit the baby. Oh, we'd better leave before you're killed.
Where is my blue dress? Now, where is it? You was cooking again.
No, I have not.
Yes, you
It's all right. Poor little thing. I can't leave you here. I don't think you'd survive another moment in there. Now, come along with me. I wonder if it's the pepper that makes them so hot-tempered. I think Soup can do very well without. I shall not have pepper in my kitchen at all when I grow up. Shush, there now. There now, there's no need to cry now, is there? You stop that crying now. Or grunting. Now, there's no need to grunt at all. Now, I've never had a grunting baby before that I recall. Nor a baby with such pinky flesh, or such a snubbed nose, or such tiny, tiny little black eyes. Or perhaps you could gurgle, dear? Babies often gurgle, but they don't normally grunt. Now, dear, if you're going to turn into a pig, I'll have no more to do with you. Goodness, you are a pig. Oh, if you'd grown up, you know you'd have made a dreadfully ugly child. But I think you make quite a handsome pig. Do you want to get down? There you go. I don't suppose I could have taken you home, you see. I don't think a pig would have been welcomed at home, especially by Dinah. You know, I think there are quite a number of children who do very well as pigs. Very well indeed. Quite a number of children I know personally who would make very attractive pigs rather than unattractive children. What? Confound these creatures. I can't see one anywhere.
You can see.
No, I can't.
But I'm up here in the tree.
All I can see in the tree is a grin. A big grin. And a pair of ears. And some large green eyes. And some whiskers. And the large grinning face of a large grinning cat. The Cheshire Cat.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. It's a pleasure to find someone so cordial in this curious place. I feel I've been ordered about and shouted at all day by the strangest creatures. But you, Cheshire Cat dear, you seem to be positively courteous. Even in the manner in which you appear, slowly and not all at once. I think that's the politest of entrances, and I shall practice it when I get home. Cheshire Cat, dear, could you tell me which way to go from here?
Well, that depends a good deal on where you want to get to.
I don't much care where.
Well, then it doesn't really matter which way you go.
So long as I get somewhere.
Oh, you're sure to do that. If only you walk long enough.
Only... But I don't want to go amongst mad people.
Oh, you can't help that. We're all mad here.
Yes? And how do you know I'm mad?
You must be, or you wouldn't be here.
Yes.
Do you play croquet with the Queen today?
No, but I should like to very much, only I haven't been invited.
On your own head be it.
On my own head?
I'll see you there.
You're beginning to look quite faint.
What happened to the baby?
It turned into a pig.
Oh, I thought it would.
You're disappearing again.
Did you say pig or fig?
A pig. Oh, I wish you wouldn't keep appearing and disappearing like that. It makes one feel quite giddy.
Fig or pig?
Pig.
You're splashing paint all over me.
I am not.
You are, look at this.
Don't jump my elbow, fine.
When did I do that?
Then, just then.
Where?
Well, all over my number. Look, I've got paint on my number.
It must have been the two of spades.
It wasn't, you're the clumsy
You're
one.
always blaming others, Five.
Well, only yesterday, Seven, I heard the Queen saying that you were the sort of card that any pack could do without.
Yes.
In fact, she said you were the sort that needed the chop.
What for?
That's none of your business, Seven of Spades.
It's my business if I'm being beheaded, Five of Spades.
Yeah, it's his business if he's been beheaded, Five.
We'll never get these roses finished if you keep on at me like this.
You're the one that started it.
You did.
Excuse me.
I didn't start nothing.
Excuse me.
Sorry, miss, we didn't see you there.
Did he splash you?
No, not at all. But could I ask you, why are you painting the roses?
You tell her.
No, you tell her.
No, you.
Well, fact is, you see, this here rose tree ought to have been a red rose tree on account of the Queen, you see, and she's, a red Queen.
The Queen of Hearts, you see, miss?
She don't want no white roses.
Oh, no. None of that.
And so, you see, if the Queen was to find out, she'd
have our heads.
And so, you see, miss, we're doing our best to paint them before she sees them.
Do you think paint will work?
Work? How do you mean?
It will work, won't it?
I mean, won't she notice the difference?
Not if they're dry.
How did you manage to plant the wrong type?
It was
him.
It was all of us. Only we're all colourblind.
Being we're made out of cardboard.
When it said white on the packet, on account of our colour blindness, we thought it said red.
Easily done.
Easily done.
Easily done.
Do you want a brush?
Thank you.
Righto.
But if she sees them...
If she sees them?
Oh, there'll be trouble.
Oh, some trouble.
Come on, they're done.
They're not dry enough.
Blow on them. Blow on them to dry.
All right.
The King and Queen of Hearts.
Is that her? Is that her?
I can't tell. It seems like a very large procession.
Well, that'll be her. She always comes in a large group.
Well, I can't see her.
Quick, lie down.
Lie down?
Lie down. She might not notice if we lie down.
If we lie down?
Yes, if we lie down and keep really, really still.
Maybe she's not there.
Quick, lie down.
Do you see her yet?
No, I can't.
Make way! Make way!
Oh, yes, I... Goodness.
Is she here?
Make way for the King and Queen of Hearts.
Goodness, what a frightening looking card.
What? What'd you say?
The King and Queen of Hearts. Halt!
Who is this?
If you please, Your Majesty,
Be quiet. What's your name, child?
My name is Alice. So please, Your Majesty.
Alice. Have you been here long?
Not really, Your Majesty. I've only just arrived.
Good.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Do you like croquet, child?
Oh, yes, Your Majesty.
Then you must come at once. Come at once with me and play. We shall play together. Come. Oh, my roses. Do you like my roses? Ah, so beautiful. They bloom all year round, you know, so beautiful and so red. Don't you think? Oh, just smell that fragrance, such scent.
Your Majesty, I wouldn't sniff the roses.
Oh, beautiful. What, child? What is so funny?
I'm sorry, Your Majesty, only
Your nose, my dear.
My nose?
There seems to be something red on it, my dear.
Red?
Yes, dear. It looks like paint.
Paint? Where from?
I think it's from the roses, Your Majesty.
The roses? What? They're wet. They are all wet. And underneath my red roses are white. Who did this? Who did this? Find the culprits immediately! Immediately!
Culprits There seems to be something on the ground, Your Majesty.
Where?
Shake it. Down below, Your Majesty, at your feet.
Who are they?
How should I know? It's none of my business.
What did you say?
I said it's none of my business.
What did she say to me?
Think, my dear, she's only a child, you know.
Get up. Get up this minute.
You'd better get up.
Please introduce yourselves.
The five of spades, if you please, Your Majesty.
The two of spades, please, Majesty.
And stop all that bowing. You're making me giddy.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, sorry.
What's been going on here? Why are you covered in paint?
If you please.
And why are these roses wet?
We.
Him.
Well,
It was the cardboard.
The cardboard?
We.
Him.
Why are my roses white?
We.
Him.
What type of gardeners are you? Well, I said, what type of gardeners are you?
Bad ones?
Bad ones.
Very bad.
No, you're not bad gardeners. You're not bad gardeners at all, are you? Are you?
No.
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 You're terrible gardeners.
Terrible.
What do you think I should do with you?
Give us different jobs.
I'm quite a good cook.
I'm handy with a needle.
I'm good with cupboards.
No, I don't think a change of jobs would be suitable or fair.
No?
No.
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 Oh.
Off with their heads!
Off with their heads!
Off with their heads! Move on! Move on!
You shan't be beheaded. Quick, hide in here.
Oh, all right.
Are their heads off?
Their heads are definitely gone, Your Majesty.
Good. Now, child, come here. Come here. You said you like croquet.
Why, yes, I'm quite good at
Good. Come along, then.
It's a very fine day.
Very. Mr. Rabbit, sir, where's the Duchess?
Hush. Don't mention the Duchess.
Why not?
She's to be beheaded.
For what?
This way.
For boxing the Queen's ears. Hush! The Queen will hear you. You see, she came rather late for croquet.
Let the game begin. Line up, cards. Line up. How am I expected to play if you're not in the right line for my croquet shot? Line up. Right. Thank you. Now line up again. Quick. Or you'll miss it.
Isn't that cheating? Getting the post to line up after you've hit the ball?
Hush! She likes to win, and she is very good at croquet. Well done, Your Majesty. Well done.
But all the cards bend over the hedgehog after she's hit it.
Hold on. Pick up your croquet stick, my dear.
My croquet stick?
That's what I said. Pick it up.
But it's a bird.
I thought you said you'd played before.
Oh, yes, I have, but
it's not a bird. It's a flamingo.
Flamingos are birds.
Don't contradict me. I know a croquet stick when I see one, and you obviously don't. Now, straighten it out and play.
But it looks positively angry.
It's flamingos always look that way. Straighten its neck out like this. Ah, easy. And line up your hedgehog and then... whack it.
Keep still. Keep still. Now, if I can just straighten your neck out. Please keep still. Oh, this is hopeless. Flamingos for croquet mallets. Who? Oh, it's you. I'll wait till your ears appear before I answer. I don't suppose there's much point in talking to a grin.
How are you getting on?
Well, not very well. They're very fond of executing people here. It's very confusing, everything being alive. There's an arch down there that I'm supposed to put my hedgehog through, and it's walking about at the bottom of the garden. I would have croqueted the Queen's hedgehog a moment ago, but it ran off before my hedgehog reached it. And I don't think flamingos make good croquet sticks at all. Oh, and the hedgehogs keep wandering about. But then I suppose you would too if you thought you were about to be hit. And they all quarrel at once, and there don't seem to be any rules at all.
How do you like the Queen?
Not at all. She's so extremely likely to win that it's hardly worth finishing the game.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, a friend of mine. A Cheshire cat.
What's he doing hanging in the middle of the air?
He's very friendly. Please, allow me to introduce you.
I don't like the look of him at all. However it may, kiss me hand.
I'd rather not.
Don't be impertinent. Don't look at me like that.
A cat can look at a king. I've read it somewhere.
Well, remove it at once. Where's the Queen? Me dear! Me dear!
Up with his head! Up with his head!
Me dear, I wish you would remove this cat.
Up with his head! Fetch the executioner!
Fetch the executioner!
Fetch the executioner!
All right. Who's for chopping?
The cat is.
What cat?
That cat!
I can't chop the head off that cat.
Why ever not?
Well, look at it.
Yes?
Got no body, have it? You can't chop the head off a body if it haven't got no body, now can you?
Nonsense. Anything with a head can be beheaded.
Look, if it haven't got no body, no neck, what's a man supposed to chop through, eh?
Well, any head can be beheaded.
Not if it hasn't got no body.
But it has a head.
But no body.
If something isn't done about this shortly, I'll have you all beheaded.
At my time of life, I can't be expected to go chopping off the heads with no
You'll
bodies.
have no time of life left if you don't hurry.
Ask the girl. The girl was talking to it.
It's the Duchess's cat. Why don't you ask her?
She's in prison, awaiting execution.
Fetch her here immediately.
Fetch the Duchess! Fetch the Duchess!
On with the game.
I think it's disappearing.
What is?
The cat. The cat.
Its ears are still there. And its grin.
Where's it gone? It was here a moment ago.
You can still see the grin, you know.
No, not anymore. Now that's gone too.
It can't just disappear.
Well, it has.
We'll go and look for it.
It's not my job to go and look for it.
Well, someone's going to look for it.
Oh, bless me. Oh, bless me. Don't mind if I do. Oh, you can't know how glad I am to see you again, my dear old thing.
Who, me?
Of course it's you, my dear child. I've missed you dreadfully. However have you been?
Well, I've been having a...
Oh, goodness. However is the croquet match going? They said my cat was here. Is he still about? Oh, here, let me help you with that flamingo. There you go. You'll have no more trouble from him now. Oh, how lovely everything looks. How green the green and how red the trees. You're thinking about something, aren't you, my dear? And that can make you forget to speak. I can't remember just now what the moral of that is, but I shall remember shortly.
Perhaps it hasn't one.
Nonsense, my child. Everything has a moral if you can only find it.
The game seems to be going rather better now.
'Tis so. And the moral of that is, 'tis love that makes the world go round.
Someone said that it's done by everybody minding their own business.
Ah, well, it means much the same thing. Take care of the senses and the senses will take care of themselves. Your flamingo's moving again, my dear. Here, let me straighten it for you.
Oh, it might bite.
Very true. Flamingos and mustard both bite. And the moral to that is, birds of a feather flock together.
Only mustard isn't a bird.
Right as usual. What a clear way you have of putting things, my dear.
It's a mineral, I think.
Of course it is. There's a large mustard mine near here, and the moral to that is, the more there is of mine, the less there is of yours.
No, it's a vegetable. It doesn't look like one, but it is.
I quite agree with you. And the moral to that is, be what you would seem to be. Or, if you like it more simply, never imagine yourself not to be otherwise than what it might appear to others, that what you were or might have been was not otherwise than what you had been would have appeared to them to be otherwise.
I think I should understand that better if it was written down, as I'm afraid I can't quite follow it, as you say.
Oh, that's nothing to what I could say. I could say all manner of things if I were... Are you thinking again?
I've a right to think.
Oh, just about as much right as pigs have to fly. A fine day, Your Majesty.
Now, I give you fair warning. Either you or your head must be off, and that in half the time. Take your choice.
Excuse me.
On with the game. Have you met the mock turtle yet? No, well, you must. Now, come with me. The griffon will take you.
What's a mock turtle?
It's the thing mock turtle soup is made from. This way. Follow me, Charles. Quickly now.
Has she gone?
Can we stop playing now?
I hate this flamingo. I always get the same one.
Oh, is she gone yet?
Yes, she's gone.
You're all pardoned.
Get up! You lazy thing. And take this young lady to see the mock turtle. I have some executions to attend to.
Yes, Your Majesty. Surely, Your Majesty. Just about anything you should ever want, Your Majesty.
Miserable creature.
What fun.
What is the fun?
Oh, why, it's all her fancy, that. They never execute nobody, you know. Come on!
Everyone says come on here. I've never been ordered about so much in my life.
This here young lady, she wants to know your history.
Does she?
She does.
Do you?
Yes.
Do you really want to know?
Oh, yes.
You do?
Yes, I really do.
Really?
She said so, didn't she?
Oh, all right then. Now don't speak a word till I've finished. Once, I was a real turtle.
Thank you, sir, for your interesting story, but I really must be going.
Sit down. I haven't finished yet.
He's not finished yet.
When we were little, we went to school. The master was an old turtle. We used to call him Tortoise.
Why did you call him Tortoise if he wasn't one?
We called him Tortoise because he taught us. Really, you are very dull.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself for asking such a simple question. Drive on, old fellow, drive on.
We went to school in the sea, though you mayn't believe it.
I never said I didn't.
You did.
Hold your tongue.
We had the best of educations. In fact, we went to school every day.
I've been to school every day. You needn't be so proud as all that.
With extras?
Yes, French and music.
And washing?
Certainly not.
Then yours wasn't a really good school.
Certainly not, I'd say.
Now at ours they had French, music, and washing. Extras.
You wouldn't have wanted it much living at the bottom of the sea.
I couldn't afford to learn it. I only took the regular course.
What was that?
Reeling and rhyming, of course, to begin with, and then different branches of arithmetic, ambition, distraction, uglification, and derision.
I've never heard of uglification.
What? Never heard of uglification?
No.
You know what a beautify is, I suppose.
Yes. It means to make something prettier.
Well, then, if you don't know what to uglify is, you must be a simpleton.
What else did you learn?
Well, there was mystery, ancient and modern with seaography. The drawling. The drawling master was an old conger eel that used to come once a week. He taught drawling, stretching, and fainting in coils.
What was that like?
Oh, I can't show you now. I'm too stiff, and the griffin never had time to learn.
At time, I went to the classical master. He was an old crab, he was.
I never went to him. He taught laughing and grief.
So he did. So he did.
Oh.
How many hours a day did you do lessons?
10 hours the first, 9 the next, and so on.
What a curious plan.
That's why they're called lessons, because they lesson from day to day.
Then the 11th day must have been a holiday.
Of course it was.
And how did you manage on the 12th?
That's enough about lessons. Tell her about the games.
Oh,
come on, old chap, come on. Drive on there.
You must not have lived under the sea much.
I haven't.
And perhaps you've never been introduced to a lobster.
I once tasted... no, never.
Then you can have no notion of what a delightful thing a lobster quadrille is.
What sort of a dance is that?
Well, first you must form into a line along the seashore.
2 lines, seals, turtles, and so on. And then when you've cleared the jellyfish out of the way...
That usually takes some time.
You advance twice.
Each with a lobster as partner?
Of course. Advance twice, set to partners.
Change partners and retire in the same order.
And then you throw...
the lobsters...
as far out to sea as you can.
Swim after them.
Turn a somersault in the sea.
Change lobsters again.
Back to land again, and... that's all the first figure.
It must be a very pretty dance.
Would you like to see it?
Very much indeed.
Well, let's try the first figure. We can do without the lobsters, you know. Which will sing?
Oh, you sing. I forgot the words.
Here? Right.
Will you walk a little faster, said a whiting to a snail. There's a porpoise close behind us, and he's treading on my tail. See how eagerly the lobsters and the turtles all advance. They are waiting on the shingle, won't you come and join the dance? Will you 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 join the dance? You can really have no notion how delightful it will be when they take us up and throw us with the lobsters out to sea. But the snail replies too far, and gave a look askance. Said he thanked the whiting kindly, but he would not join the dance. 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 What matters it how far we go, his scaly friend replied. There is enough to surely know upon the other side. But further up from England or nearer this to France, then turn not pale, beloved snail, but come and join the dance. Will you join the dance? Will you join the dance? Won't you join the dance? Want to join the dance?
That was a very interesting dance. Thank you. Thank you. And I do so like the song about the whiting.
Oh, as to the whiting, you've seen them, of course.
Oh, yes, I've seen them at dinner.
I don't know where Din is, but if you've seen them, of course you know what they're like.
I believe so. They have their tails in their mouths and are covered in breadcrumbs.
Well, you're wrong about the breadcrumbs. They'd wash off in the sea, but they do have their tails in their mouths, and the reason for that is... Tell her the reason.
The reason is that they would go with the lobsters to the dance, so they all got thrown out to sea and fell a very long way out. So they put their tails in their mouths so as not to lose them.
Thank you. That's very interesting. I never knew so much about whiting before.
Oh, there's much more to tell you about them. Do you know why they're called whiting?
No, I never thought about it. Why?
It does the boots and shoes.
Does the boots and shoes?
What are your shoes done with? I mean to say, what makes them shiny?
Oh, they're done with blacking, I believe.
Boots and shoes under the sea are done with whiting. So now you know.
And what are they made of?
Soles and eels, of course. Any shrimp could tell you that.
If I'd have been the whiting, I'd have said to the porpoise, "Keep back, please, we don't want you with us."
They were obliged to have him with them. No wise fish would go anywhere without a porpoise.
Wouldn't it really?
Of course not. Why, if a fish came to me and told me he was going on a journey, I should say, with what purpose?
Don't you mean purpose?
I mean what I say.
He means what he says. Now, how about a poem?
Oh, no.
Oh, yes, I should like that.
Not the walrus poem.
The walrus poem!
I like walruses.
You won't like this poem.
Oh.
The sea was wet as wet could be, the sands were dry as dry. You could not see a cloud because no cloud was in the sky. No birds were flying overhead. There were no birds to fly. The walrus and the carpenter were walking close at hand. They wept like anything to see such quantities of sand. If this were only cleared away, they said, it would be grand. If 7 maids with 7 mops swept it for half a year, do you suppose, the walrus said, that they could get it clear? I doubt it, said the carpenter, and shed a bitter tear. Oh, oysters, come and walk with us, the walrus did beseech. A pleasant walk, a pleasant talk along the briny beach. We cannot do with more than 4 to give a hand to each. The eldest oyster looked at him, but never a word he said. The eldest winked his eye and shook his heavy head, meaning to say he did not choose to leave the oyster bed.
Oh.
But 4 young oysters hurried up, all eager for the treat. Their coats were brushed, their faces washed, their shoes were clean and neat. And this was odd, because, you know, they hadn't any feet. 4 other oysters followed them, and yet another 4, and thick and fast they came at last, and more and more and more, all hopping through the frothy waves and scrambling to the shore. The walrus and the carpenter walked on a mile or so, and then they rested on a rock conveniently low, and all the oysters stood and waited in a row. The time has come, the walrus said, to talk of many things, of shoes and ships and sealing wax, of cabbages and kings, and why the sea is boiling hot, and whether pigs have wings. But wait a bit, the oysters cried, before we have our chat, for some of us are out of breath and all of us are fat. No hurry, said the carpenter. They thanked him much for that. A loaf of bread, the walrus said, is what we chiefly need. Pepper and vinegar besides are very good indeed. Now if you're ready, oysters dear, we can begin to feed. But not on us, the oysters cried, turning a little blue. After such kindness that would be a dismal thing to do. The night is fine, the walrus said. Do you admire the view? It was so kind of you to come, and you are very nice. The carpenter said nothing, but cut us another slice. I wish you were not so deaf, I've had to ask you twice. It seems a shame, the walrus said, to play 'em such a trick, after we've brought them out so far and made them trot so quick. The carpenter said nothing, but the butter's spread too thick. I weep for you, the walrus said. I deeply sympathise. With sobs and tears he sorted out those of the largest size, holding his pocket handkerchief before his streaming eyes. "Oh, oysters," said the carpenter, "you've had a pleasant run. Shall we be trotting home again?" But answer came there none. And this was scarcely odd, because they'd eaten every one.
Oh. Yes, I'm not sure if I like that poem. The walrus and the carpenter sound most unpleasant individuals.
Well, that's the sea for you. It's the turtle's turn. Poem or song?
Oh, a song, please. If the mock turtle would be so kind.
No accounting for tastes. Sing of the turtle soup song, would you, old fellow?
Oh, yes.
Beautiful soup, so rich and green, waiting in a hot tureen. Who for such dainties would not stoop? Soup of the evening, beautiful soup. Soup of the evening, beautiful soup. Beautiful soup. Beautiful soup.
The trial's beginning.
Come on.
What is it? What trial?
Beautiful,
come on, it's
beautiful.
What trial?
Come on, follow me.
Beautiful soup, who cares for fish, game or any other dish? Who would not
Come on, come on.
Those tarts look nice. Aren't they refreshments? Will they be handing them round at the end?
Yes, sit here.
Oh.
Sit here. Have you been in a courtroom before?
Yes, many times. Well, not exactly. I read about them, though. Now, that's the judge, the king in the wig. And I'm not quite sure what the queen is, apart from being a queen. And the white rabbit must be one of the barristers. And the knave. The knave must be sitting there because he's the defendant. And those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12 creatures must be the jury, I should think. Oh, yes, I know all about courtrooms. What are the jurors writing? They can't possibly have anything to write down yet.
They're putting down their names for fear they should forget them before the end of the trial.
Oh.
Silence in court.
Stupid things.
Stupid things.
Herald, read the accusation.
Yes, read it. Come on, come on.
Oh, he's the herald, not the barrister.
The Queen of Hearts, she made some tarts, all on a summer's day. The Knave of Hearts, he stole those tarts and took them quite away.
I didn't steal nothing.
Silence.
It wasn't me. I don't like pastry.
Silence, or you may be beheaded. Consider your verdict.
Not yet, not yet. There's a great deal to come before that.
Is there?
Oh, yes.
Call the first witness.
First witness, I call the Mad Hatter.
I beg your pardon, Your Majesty. I hadn't quite finished my tea.
You ought to have finished, you know. When did you start?
The 14th of March, I think.
No, the 15th, man.
No, the 14th, old hare.
16th.
17th.
18th.
19th.
20th.
20 past.
22nd.
Stop. Write that down, jurors. Then edit and reduce the answer to shillings and pence. Silence. Take off your hat.
It isn't mine.
Stolen.
No, I keep them to sell. I've none of my own. I'm a hatter.
Give your evidence and don't be nervous or I'll have you executed on the spot.
Yes. Give your evidence.
Well, I hadn't begun my tea when...
I wish you wouldn't squeeze so I can hardly breathe.
I can't help it. Oh, I'm growing.
You've no right to grow in here.
Oh, don't talk such nonsense. You know, you're growing too.
Yes, but at a reasonable pace, not in that ridiculous fashion. Oh, excuse me.
Give your evidence, or I'll have you executed whether you're nervous or not.
I'm a poor man, Your Majesty, and I hadn't begun my tea, not a week or so, and what with the bread and butter getting so thin and the twinkling of tea...
Twinkling of what?
Well, it began with the tea.
Well, of course, twinkling begins with tea. You don't take me for a dunce, eh? Go on.
I'm a poor man, Your Majesty, and most things twinkled after that. Only the Mart's hair said...
I didn't.
You did.
I didn't.
You did.
I didn't.
You did.
I deny it.
He denies it. Leave that out, jurors.
Well, at any rate, the Dormouse said...
Twinkle, little bat.
Always does. And after that, I cut myself some more bread and butter.
And what did the Dormouse say?
That I can't remember.
Oh, you must remember. Oh, I'll have you executed.
Well, I'm a poor man, Your Majesty.
You're a very poor speaker.
Suppress that guinea pig!
Suppressing done.
I'm glad I've seen that done. I've often read in the newspapers how at the end of trials there was some attempt at applause which was immediately suppressed by the officers of the court. And now I understand what it means.
Well, that's all you know about it. You may go.
And that one, too!
You may stand down.
I can't get any lower than this. I'm on the floor as it is.
Well, then you may sit down.
Well, I'd rather finish my tea.
You may leave the courtroom, then.
Oh, thank you, Your Honour. Thank you.
And just take his head off outside!
You're stopping me.
I can't help it.
I have to go and sleep somewhere else.
Call the next witness.
Call the next witness.
Go next witness.
The mock turtle! The mock turtle!
You're taking a lot of room.
I know, I can't stop growing.
I could cut a bit off for you.
No, thank you.
We won't stop. We'll have to move. I could just cut off an arm or a bit of a leg, you know.
I didn't do anything. I don't know anything. I wasn't even there.
No crying in court.
No crying in court. No crying in court.
Were you there?
No.
Where were you?
I wasn't anywhere.
Well, you must have been somewhere.
No, nowhere. It's a place I often go. The Griffin goes there too.
No, I don't.
You do.
I've never been to the place. It sounds dreadful.
Well, it's where I was.
Oh, write that down. That's important.
This is nonsense! Hold your tongue!
I won't.
And stop that weeping! How did that grin get in here?
What grin?
There, hanging above the jury.
He can't hear you.
What did you say?
He can't hear you until his ears have appeared.
Have you finished with me?
No.
Yes.
It's that cat again.
Off with its head!
The next witnesses have arrived.
Well, they're early.
Next witnesses. Next witnesses.
Next witnesses.
All 2, 5 and 7 of spades.
I don't like tarts.
Did we say you do? Write that down.
You do?
I don't like tarts, you do.
I know you do.
I know you do.
I don't.
I don't.
None of us do.
None of us do.
We don't like sweets even.
We don't like sweets even.
In fact, we don't like anything much.
In fact, we don't
Will you stop that, eh?
Will you stop that?
No!
Now.
We'll take their pieces of chalk away from them.
Take their pieces of chalk away from them.
Give me them.
Oh, really, Medea, you must cross-examine the next witnesses. It quite makes me forehead ache.
Can we go? Very well. Who is the next witness?
Can we go? Who is the next witness? Who is the next witness?
Alice.
Here!
You've spoke the jurors.
Oh, I'm most terribly sorry.
We cannot proceed until all the jurors are put back into the jury box. All. You're very big.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Please, here you go.
What do you know about this business?
Nothing.
Nothing whatever?
Nothing whatever.
That's very important.
Unimportant.
Unimportant, of course, I meant, yes. Important, unimportant, important, unimportant, important, unimportant. Silence! Rule 42. All persons more than a mile high to leave the court.
I'm not a mile high.
There you are.
Nearly 2 miles high.
Well, I shan't go at any rate. Besides, that's not a regular rule. You've invented it just now.
Well, it's the oldest rule in the book.
Well, then it ought to be number 1.
But consider your verdict.
There's more evidence, Your Majesty, please. This paper has just been picked up.
What's in it?
I haven't opened it yet, but it seems to be a letter written by the prisoner to somebody.
It must have been that, unless it was written to nobody, which isn't usual, you know.
It isn't directed at all. In fact, there's nothing on the outside. It isn't a letter after all. It's a set of verses.
Are they in the prisoner's handwriting?
No, they're not. And that's the queerest thing about it.
He must have imitated somebody else's hand.
Please, Your Majesty. I didn't write it, and they can't prove I did. There's no name signed at the bottom.
Well, if you didn't sign it, that only makes matters worse. You must have meant some mischief, or else you would have signed your name like an honest man.
That proves his guilt.
I don't like pastry.
That proves nothing of the sort. Why, you don't even know what it's about.
Read it.
Where shall I begin, Your Majesty?
Begin at the beginning and go on until you come to the end. Then stop.
They told me you had been to her and mentioned me to him and gave me a good character, but said I could not swim. He sent them word I had not gone. We know it to be true. If she should push the matter on, what would become of you? I gave her 1, they gave him 2, you gave us 3 or more. They all returned from him to you, though they were mine before. If I or she should chance to be involved in this affair, he trusts to you to set them free exactly as they were. My notion was that you had been, before she had this fit, an obstacle that came between him and ourselves and it. Don't let him know she liked them best, for this must ever be a secret kept from all the rest between yourself and me.
That's the most important piece of evidence we've heard yet. So now let the jury...
If only one of them could explain it. I don't think there's an atom of truth in it.
Well, if there's no meaning in it, that saves a world of trouble, you know, as we needn't try and find any. And yet I don't know, there does seem to be some meaning in it. Knave, can you swim? It says here, could not swim. Well, can you?
No. It's the cardboard, Your Majesty. It gets so wet.
Yes, and here, I know it to be true. I gave her 1, they gave him 2. Why, that must be the tarts.
But it goes on to say, they all returned from him to you.
I didn't steal them, I wouldn't. Your Majesties, I wouldn't.
Silence. Why, there you are. Nothing could be clearer than that. But there again, before she had this fit. You never had any fits, my dear, I think.
Never.
Then the words can't possibly fit you. It's a pun. Let the jury consider their verdict.
No. Sentence first, verdict later.
Sentence first. Stuff and nonsense. Verdict first, sentence later.
Hold your tongue.
I won't.
Up with a head.
How can you possibly reach me when I'm over 2 miles high?
Up with a head. 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 Up with a head.
Who cares for you? You're nothing but a pack of cards. You're just a pack of cards. You're just a pack of cards.
Alice, wake up. Wake up, dear. You've been asleep for so long.
Have I? I feel quite strange.
We should be going. It's getting quite late.
Where's the rabbit?
What rabbit, dear?
I saw a rabbit with a waistcoat on.
Oh, Alice.
I had a very curious dream, I think.
You'll be late for tea.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you about it? Can I tell you all about it?
Of course you can, dear.
I saw such incredible things.
Did you, dear?
I had a wonderful adventure.
Where did you go?
Oh, well, first I entered a large tunnel. An endless, endless well. And I fell and fell and fell. And then...
Come along. You can tell me as we walk.
Well, there were so many things. Cupboards.
Did you see that? She opened me up and just out this
and all sorts of things. And a race, a caucus-race.
A race?
The best thing to get us dry would be a caucus-race.
Oh, no, not a caucus.
And I almost drowned them all.
Who?
All the animals, of course. I had to give them my conference
you?
prizes.
What animals?
Oh, well, there was a dodo, a duck,
Twinkle,
an
twinkle, little bat, how I wonder what you're at.
queen. There was. It was a queen.
Up with
the
her
Queen
head!
of Hearts.
Up with her
At
head!
the trial, the Queen of Hearts, she made some tarts all on a summer's day.
It
The
wasn't
Knave of
me.
Hearts, he stole
I
it.
don't like pastry.
Thus grew the tale of Wonderland. Thus slowly, one by one, its quaint events were hammered out. And now the tale is done. And home we steer, a merry crew, beneath the setting sun. Alice, a childish story take, and with a gentle hand lay it where childhood's dreams are twined in memory's mystic band, like pilgrims' withered wreath of flowers plucked in a far-off land. You're dawdling, Alice. What are you looking at?
I thought I saw something. I thought I saw a white rabbit.
Come on, Alice. We'll have to run. We're terribly late for tea.
Oh.
Marianne? Marianne! Now wait, Marianne! Did you find my gloves?
In Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, Alice was played by Sarah Jane Home, the Queen of Hearts by Mary Winbush, the White Rabbit by David Bamber, and the Duchess by Deborah Finlay. The Griffin was Ken Campbell, the Mock Turtle Geoffrey Whitehead, the Mad Hatter Roy Hudd, and the March Hare Toby Longworth. The King of Hearts was Yohan Meredith, the Cheshire Cat Christopher Scott, the Cook Shirley Dixon, and the Footman Kim Wall. The Knave of Hearts was Alex Lowe, the Two of Spades Joanna Monroe, the Five of Spades Chris Pavlow, the Seven of Spades Robert Harper, the Executioner Keith Drinkle, and Alice's sister Colleen Prendergast. Other parts were played by members of the cast. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland was dramatised by Hattie Naylor and directed by Sally Avens.